Welcome to the third installment in my A to Z gameplay series. My name is Utley, and I'm here to teach you how to play, or not to play, League of Legends. This installment will feature Akali, and we are here to do nothing but get good. These are the Masteries you will be using on Akali. Electrocute because it is extremely easy to proc, and burst down squishy players. Sudden Impact due to her ult being a dash that she can use very often. Ravenous Hunter for some extra sustain in lane, and then I recommend going into the Inspiration Tree. Perfect timing for the stopwatch is great on Akali, and it also lowers the cost of making your Zhonya's later on in the game. Now, let's finally get into Akali's abilities. Her passive is Twin Disciplines. Basically, when this is up, her next two autos are empowered. The first one heals her, then the second one deals bonus magic damage. This is where Akali's built-in lane sustain comes from. Next is Mark of the Assassin, Akali's Q. Akali tosses a projectile that marks a target. Autoing that target gives Akali energy back, as well as dealing bonus damage. Akali's W is Twilight Shroud. This puts a circle down on the ground. When Akali is in it, she gains stealth and some resistances. When this ability is cast, Akali also blinks a small amount. Next is Akali's E, which is Crescent Slash. This deals damage in an area around Akali. The only important thing to remember about this ability is that its cooldown gets reduced by 60% whenever it kills something. It is great for wave clear. Finally is Akali's ultimate, which is Shadow Dance. This is on a charge system. When Akali uses this, she dashes to her target. The important thing to remember when using this ability is that you gain a charge whenever you get a kill or an assist on an enemy champion. Akali's matchups are pretty straightforward. When it comes to top lane, her good matchups are against those of tanks and most bruisers, while her bad matchups are against those of ranged champions and fighters. The good matchups you should look to play against are champions like Darius, Nasus, Shin, and Yasuo. While Yasuo does fall into the fighter role, Akali actually counters his kit very well and destroys him in all stages of the game. Against all these champions, you are primarily looking to get your poke off with your Qs and your auto attacks while sustaining yourself and farming. Once you hit 6 though, you should be able to just completely take over the lane. You have built-in sustain and you should keep on farming. You should eventually end up pressuring out your enemy laner and pressuring the rest of the map with threat of your teleport. When it comes to bad matchups, you should avoid champions like Gangplank, Kennen, Lissandra, Fiora, and Pantheon. Fiora and Pantheon are two of the worst champions to go up against as Akali. Dodge these matchups at all cost. If you do end up going against any of these champions, it's just a case of farming, staying safe, and praying your jungler likes to camp top. Although even if your jungler does camp top, you will still end up behind. If you are in these matchups, you should try not to TP back the lane, but instead, use it to make plays around the map, snowballing the rest of your team for them to carry, since you will never be able to have split push pressure against these champions. Now, no longer talking about matchups, let's talk about moving into the mid game. Mid game, you should be looking to split push, and use your TP to join your team in a fight. If you are fed, you should pressure your lane as hard as you can, although you need to try to stay out of 2v1s. Pressure and allow your team to take turrets and gain vision on the other side of the map. Whether you are fed or not, you should play aggressive, but not so much that you constantly gank and die and give up any advantage your split pushing might give. Once late game rolls around, you should be looking to allow your team to Baron with little counterplay from your top laner. Play the Baron dance game, take turrets and pressure your laner out. If most people come, have your team start and disengage Baron to force them to the Baron side of the map, or just quickly burn it down, while you take turrets on the opposite side of the map. Since Akali is a squishy assassin, you shouldn't always be looking to teamfight. But if your team does get engaged on, you'll have to decide quickly. TP to your team and fight with them, or pressure the other side of the map and take turrets or inhibitors. As a general rule, if the enemy team has a lot of hard engage, you have to be quick on the TP. If you are slow at all, chances are, by the time you TP there, the fight will already be lost and over. If you are against the heavy engaged team, it might be best just to group with your team and forego the split pushing completely, and use vision to get picks, as Akali's damage allows her to burst even bruisers down almost instantaneously. Akali's mechanics aren't terribly hard to perform due to the fact that all of her abilities are point and click. Once she is 6, the most basic combo is to walk up and Q an enemy, then back off and wait for your Q to come off cooldown. Then dash to them, proc your Q, then re-Qing them and proccing it again. This should give you the most damage potential with very little ability to counter it. One thing that is important to remember about Akali's W though, her Shroud, is that when this ability is used next to a wall, you can blink over small walls in Summoner's Rift. Use this ability to increase your mobility or to fake out your enemies. Akali's role in teamfights is primarily a backline diver, but you should not be looking to engage. Akali is best when she comes into fights a little bit late after Heartseed C and Summoner spells have been used, then blows up enemy backline with little they can do to stop you. Akali is an assassin, but has very little ways to escape outside of dashing to enemy minions or going invisible. The best Akalis know how to abuse these abilities to the max to survive for as long as possible. When talking about Akali's rate of fun, I would rate her a 5. While she is fun to play, too much of her kit feels Feast or Famine to me, and I am not a fan of that playstyle. The Feast or Famine playstyle basically means that if Akali doesn't get super fed, she falls off and really isn't able to do much since she has no CC and only has damage and mobility when moving to enemies. When talking about her ranked playability, I would also give her a 5. I give her a 5 in ranked play due to a lot of the same reasons that I give her a 5 for her rate of fun. Her Feast or Famine playstyle makes you either stomp the game or get stomped. This means that in ranked, she won't be very consistent, which I believe is very important when it comes to climbing the ranked ladder. For now though, that is all. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. I'll be reading all of the comments. Until next time, I'm Utley, and here's to getting good.